Hey, this is Rich. I did another video. Hopefully you saw that. That was the video of me unpacking everything for a GearVendors unit that I was planning on installing in my car. This video is going to be of me actually attaching the GearVendors unit to the C4 transmission. Primarily a quick walkthrough is we're going to be removing the tail shaft housing, putting in the replacement housing that comes from GearVendors, and then attaching the actual overdrive unit to the back of that as well. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the transmission around, and we've got 6 9/16 bolts on here that we're going to remove. So I'm just going to, I've actually been through this once. I loosened them up so that I'm not wasting a whole lot of your time you watching me doing rudimentary type stuff, like dropping the plug. This part might actually be edited out. We'll see. And like I said, this is a brand new transmission, so that's one advantage to it. But you can actually do this, from what I understand, in the car if you'd like to go through that. So that's it. This is the old housing removed. We're just going to set that to the side along with the gasket. The kit does come with a brand new gasket for the adapter assembly. And like I said, this is the C4, so you can see here it's got the GearVendors C4 adapter marking, and I just need to get the gasket for it now. Alright, so here's the gasket, and we'll just put it in place. It looks just like a stock one, right, because obviously we're putting it back in the stock place. There is a gasket already here in place. It's all metal inside, so while you always want to be gentle with it, it's not too much of a hazard back there. We'll get a couple of our bolts, start trying to line up our gasket. And like I said, I did fit this before, and it's awesome how close it is. It's just like right on. So it's like bolting the stock piece on as well. The directions, which obviously I expect everybody would read first, I finally did. They say not to torque it down yet. Once you put it together, don't want it all loosey-goosey, but you do want to keep it somewhat looser, just not all the way torqued down yet. Still going to be the same 6 bolts, and you'll notice that the mount is in the same place. And there have been some concerns of folks about having the weight of the overdrive hanging off the back of that, but although it feels a little bit heavy to the hand up here, comparatively, as far as the equipment goes, it's really not that heavy, so I don't think it's a concern. It's used in so many applications. It's been around forever, so obviously it's not an issue. So I'm just going to snug these down. Like I said, it's the same. You're using the same 9/16 bolts that you took off with the stock housing. so now we've got our 6 bolts, shell shaft housing is on. The next step is going to be, you can see here, this is our output shaft on the transmission. That's actually going to feed into the overdrive unit itself. But the overdrive unit, it has a spline shaft as well. So what we're going to use is the included coupler here, and we've got some kind of slugs here that we're going to have in between. And what those are for is to change the end play on here. So basically what the instructions say to do is to start out with the coupler in here, all the way in. You take a straight edge, put it against the flat surfaces, and then you want to measure in between here, the surface of the coupler and your straight edge. And so basically what I did, because they want no more than, or they want a gap between 0.005 and 0.035. Not a whole lot. So I measured their slugs. Their slugs are about 0.02. And I grabbed a stack of 4, stuck them in there, and 4 is just about perfect. And on the ground. So, luckily they gave us a lot of them. So what I did was I backed off with 1, and I actually put 3. And what you do is you just drop them inside on the side of the transmission itself, the transmission output. You'll notice I'm tilting the transmission down. That's just so that these don't flop down and block me as I'm trying to put them in. So, like it still did. There we go. Alright, so now we've got that. We can double check our gap again. And we'll bring the camera over, and you can see that the gap is really tight in here. But it's going to be small enough and within our range that we need. So the end play will be cool. Okay, so now we'll get to the fun part. We want to look at putting our overdrive unit in place. Now, as I said, this is a bit heavy. If you have someone to help you out, that'd be really cool, actually. But if you don't, it is doable. I'm doing it all on the bench. As I said, so what I did was I grabbed a couple pieces of wood.